माननीय सदस्य श्री अनिल देसाई जी।
Thank you, Chairman sir. The Finance Bill 2025 is being discussed and debated in the House. I would like to mention few important aspects of the bill, and of course would be seeking clarifications to the same when the Honorable Finance Minister replies to the House. So, describing the vision of Vikasit Bharat, that is developed India, Honorable Finance Minister identifies agriculture, MSMEs, investment and exports at the macro level as its four powerful engines, with reform as its fuel and inclusivity as its guiding spirit. The budget focuses on various development measures, including boosting manufacturing, furthering Make in India, enabling employment-led development, investing in people, the economy and innovation, securing and enhancing energy supplies, promoting exports and curbing imports to achieve the goals of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Sir, Honorable Finance Minister announced slew of measures to spur the agricultural growth and productivity, thereby benefiting the Annadata. Total of 1.37 lakh crore has been allocated to Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, which is 2.5 lower than the revised estimates of 24-25. Further, the measures have been introduced to be implemented to make agriculture a lucrative occupation, and therefore steps are proposed like easy access to affordable credit, adequate availability of fertilizers, access to quality seeds, remunerative pricing and agriculture produce, thereby doubling the income of farmers. However, the schemes like Dhan Dhan Krishi Yojana, which focuses on 100 underperforming agricultural districts, does not provide structural reforms in supply chains, MSP guarantees or crop diversification. There is no clear roadmap for tackling farmer distress, climate change impact on agriculture, or rising costs. The reliance on NAFED or NCCF for procurement of pulses may not be sufficient to ensure stable prices. Over the years, agriculture crop insurance hasn't been of significant help to the farmers in reality. And in reality on the ground, they are kept away from getting bank credit by way of farm loans on the pretext of low CIBIL score. This results in continued unabated suicides in Marathwada and Vidarbha regions of Maharashtra. This is a worrying cause, and government should ensure that Annadata gets its rightful dues. Incidentally, Maharashtra, including Mumbai, the financial capital of the country, contributes the most to the central exchequer, that is around 40% of the taxes. And what it gets back meagerly 6% from the devolution of central funds. I think that should be also revisited while working out from the Finance Commission, whatever the recommendations come, that needs to be reviewed. Sir, MSME and startup support lacks depth it requires. The government launched a fund of funds for startups in June 2016 with the corpus of 10,000 crores. Under this scheme, the government provides capital to alternative for investment funds who in turn invest in the capital, provides capital to alternative funds and startups through equity-linked instruments. A new fund named Deep Tech Fund of Funds that is also been proposed to encourage next generation of startups from technical and non-technical backgrounds. Also, credit enhancement of MSME has been proposed in this budget. However, it does not significantly improve access to low-interest credit for small businesses. Rupees 5 lakh credit card limit for micro enterprises may be insufficient for expansion. Moreover, the lack of clarity or implementation and fund disbursement may slow down the business growth. Sir, as far as direct employment is concerned, the government should focus on the potential in public sector, central government undertakings like railways for employment. Public sector banks, insurance companies, oil companies, railways, they have tremendous potential to see the recruitment at the entry level of the youth. However, these public sector units are employing youth on 1 year apprenticeship that is happening in the banks and insurance companies too. And on completion of 1 year, they are left, the youth which comes in as an apprentice is left high and dry after 1 year. This leads to frustration in the young generation, which not only renders them jobless, but it affects their family environment too. The government should do away with this 1 year apprenticeship jobs and offer permanent employment to the youth of nation. Instead of strengthening public sector, government takes more interest in disinvestment and selling away the public sector companies to selected few private players. The government, the general insurance company is the latest example that the employees of the general insurance companies are still awaiting their wage revision. Now, whatever conditions were put by the government, they have also been met by the companies, that their solvency ratio, which is very vital as far as insurance companies' profitability is concerned, their running of the business is concerned, they have achieved that well beyond that. Sir, next, this thing is regarding infrastructure investment is concerned. 11.21 lakh crore for infrastructure has been allocated with an aim to encourage higher private participation. Infrastructure-related ministries are to draw up a plan of 3-year pipeline of project in PPP mode. States are also encouraged for the same. However, PPP mode has had mixed success till now due to delays, funding issues and disputes. Rupees 1.5 lakh crores interest-free loans to states may lead to misallocation of funds without strict accountability. So, export promotion mission, which sectoral and ministerial targets driven jointly by Ministries of Commerce, MSME and Finance to be set up, and Bharat Trade Net for international trade to be set up as unified platform for trade documentation and financing solutions. Similarly, national framework to be formulated as guidance to states for promoting global capacity centers in emerging two-tier cities. These measures aim to boost exports, but they do not address the trade imbalances, raw material shortages or global competition. Our trade policies still face high tariffs and regulatory bottlenecks, which may make it difficult to compete in the global market despite export incentives. Moreover, US President's announcement of reciprocal tariffs, which is to come on 2nd of April, may further affect the bilateral trade rise. I hope the government is well prepared on this to deal with the United States, and I hope that it will score a brownie point for the nation. So, nuclear energy investment raises safety and cost concerns. Rupees 20,000 crore outlay for small modular reactors raises concern about safety, nuclear waste disposal mechanism and regulatory preparedness, especially regarding agreement on civil liability for nuclear damage, as amendments to nuclear liability laws may also increase risk for public safety and shifting of responsibility away from the private operators. Sir, allocation of rupees 1 lakh crore to the healthcare sector in this budget does look healthy provision, while daycare, cancer centers and PM Jan Arogya Yojana for gig workers are introduced. The overall healthcare budget lacks substantial expansion. There is no comprehensive policy to improve rural health care access. Shortages of doctors and paramedical staff, deficiency of medicines in the government hospitals are the glaring examples of the plight of poor public health infrastructure. I'll make another 2 points because I'm the only speaker from my party. The budget shows allocation of 1.28 lakh crores for education, with increase of 6.22 over the last year's provision. However, the provision for education in the budget is 4.6 of the GDP. It remains below NEP targets and lags global peers. The ever-widening gap between urban and rural education needs to be bridged if the purpose of education to all and maximum literacy percentage is to be achieved. Heavy investment in AI, digital education and geospatial infrastructure may further widen the urban-rural divide, as underprivileged population will be deprived of the same. What are the arrangements on equal distribution of resources have been made by the government in this regard? In this budget, sir, Honorable Finance Minister has exempted salaried middle class up to earnings of 12 lakh per annum. This has no doubt given much needed relief to the middle class. But at the same time, the government has given nod to the 8th Pay Commission, which may become operational in the year 2026. And therefore, the relief given in this budget may be washed out. At the same time, indirect taxes in the form of GST with several slab bands which leaves middle class with hardly anything in their hands, which otherwise they would have saved either in the banks or spent in the market for their increasing needs. GST rate need to be rationalized, and also GST of 18% levied on insurance policies need to be brought down or curtailed, which is demanded by crores of policyholders of the nation.
Please
The fiscal deficit is estimated at 4.4% of the GDP, which is, although lower than the previous years, remains significant concern for fiscal sustainability, sir. The heavy reliance on gross market borrowings, which has gone to 48.82 lakh crores, increases India's debt burden, raising concerns about repayment capacity of our country and potential credit rating downgrades. Thus, the budget focuses on agriculture, MSMEs, investment, exports, engine of growth. However, fiscal deficit, uncertain execution of schemes, and over-reliance on private investment pose major challenges. While tax benefits, infrastructure, and digital expansion are positive, the lack of direct employment support, healthcare expansion, and structural economic reforms may slow down inclusive growth. And last point, last but not the least, sir, may the Honorable Finance Minister enlighten this House about the PLI scheme, which was introduced in year 2020 in 14 key sectors, with the objective of boosting manufacturing and thus addressing the very important issue of unemployment in our country. As manufacturing sector contribution to the GDP is merely only 15%, which needs to go in another couple of years to 25%. That is the target set.
Okay, thank
but
you,
it is
member.
nowhere
Thank
near
you.
this.
Please conclude.
May Finance Minister in a reply could answer to this. Thank you very much for giving me this time to express my views on this finance bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable